Welcome to the You Need More Money podcast. I'm your host, Matt Manero, where I come to you each and every week from my studio in Dallas, Texas. Oh, I'm so frustrated about this stuff that I'm seeing. I just can't get away from my feed, my social media feed of all these gurus that are trying to tell us all the things that we need to do, all the things that are going to make us millions. And guess what? You can do it too, and you can do it within 24 hours. You can be a ferocious millionaire within 24 hours if you just do this ClickFunnels, or you just hustle, or you just grind. I'm telling you, that's not how it works. It's not true. 99% of the stuff that you are seeing on your social media feed about business and growing a business is totally incorrect. And I'm here to tell you what is correct. The biggest problem we have is that we don't know where we are. Everyone is telling us what we're supposed to do, and that's wrong. And we're supposed to grind and hustle and, kill ourselves. And no one's telling us where the hell we are. What test exists that tells us exactly where we are? And so when I set out on this mission to be part of Business Finishing School, I said, we're going to create tests. It's the same mission I set out with on writing You Need More Money. I said, I'm going to teach people to figure out step number one of success. Step number one in success is, where are you? It's figuring out, where are you in your life? And what exists to help us? Not much. The only thing that exists is somebody showing up on my feed telling me what a superhero they are and how I too can have a jet. Let me tell you something about a jet. A jet is ferociously expensive, and most people will never get a jet. It is one of my goals. I want a jet to control my time. I don't want a jet to fly my kids around. I don't want a jet to fly my wife, the rocker, around. I want a jet to control my time so that if I need to go see a client, if I need to go close a deal, I can do it quickly and under my terms. If you have a jet, you need to be able to learn how to earn to pound the crap out of that jet to make it generate revenue. And most people don't understand that principle. They look at a jet as if it's going to be used to fly around on vacation. Everybody I know that has a jet uses it to fly around for business and maybe for vacations. Because if it costs you $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 an hour to operate your jet, it's pretty expensive when you could spend $1,000 a ticket on a first class ticket. Do you really want to spend 6 or 7 or 8 times to go on vacation? Or would you rather spend 1 times for a first class ticket and earn 3 or 4 times the cost of the jet because you're closing deals? I digressed. Let's get back to it today. What I want you to understand is that there are tests now available that begin to tell you exactly where you are. It was the biggest problem I had in my career. Where am I? Am I making enough money? Do I have enough money to buy something? Can I really afford it? Can the business afford it? I know our computers are old and I need to buy new computers, but can I really swing it? Hell, I know I got a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old car, but can I really swing a new car? Should I buy a big fancy car? Is it going to impress anybody? Should I live in a bigger house? And I created a test for myself called the litmus test. It exists in the book, You Need More Money. It's the 1, 3, 5, 10 test. You need to get my book and take this test. I'm going to give you a little insight on what the test is right now, though. In your 20s, based on my 1, 3, 5, 10 test, in your 20s, you need to have a net worth of 1 times your annual income. In your 30s, you need to have a net worth of 3 times your annual income. In your 40s, you need to have a net worth of 5 times your annual income. And in your 50s, you need to have a net worth of 10 times your annual income. Get the book, take the litmus test, and that will begin to tell you, where are you in your money sitch? I don't know where that test is. I don't know who's talking about real life like that, but that was one of the commitments I made to writing the book. I'm going to help people understand Where are they with their money? So that's the first piece about knowing where you are with your money. You have to put yourself through the litmus test that's in my book called You Need More Money, even though I just told you, if you haven't bought the book, exactly what it is. And you can just replay what I just told you of what the 1, 3, 5, 10 actually is. The second test that I really was very interested in is the leadership test. How do we know if we're good leaders, right? Who tells us that? I mean, are our employees telling us that we're good leaders? Well, maybe they are if they're quitting, tells us that we suck, right? But even if they've been with us for a long time, how do we know if we're really great leaders? And so with Business Finishing School, for those of you who don't know, I'm now a partner in a group called Business Finishing School. My friend Rick Sapio and I are partners in Business Finishing School, and we put on a boot camp. We actually now call it the Growth Summit in February and September in Dallas. You can go to bfssummit.com and learn more about it. But what I want to get to you now is the test. The test that tells you where are you in your life, man. Are you a good business owner? Are you a good leader? Do you have your core values figured out? And Rick developed this test, and I love it. I think it's perfect. I wouldn't change one thing about this test, and it's yours free today. If you go to getmybsi.com, getmybsi.com, you're going to take 10 tests, 10 questions, my bad. One test, 10 questions, about 4 minutes long. Each test is going to give you a ranking. You're going to rank yourself on a 1, and you're going to rank yourself on a 10. And it will spit out a score at the end. Most people who take this test will score in the 30s. Some people who lie about taking this test and the answers on the test will score in the 80s or 90s. Nobody really scores in the 80s or 90s. When I see somebody come across who took the Get My BSI test and they score in the 90s, I know they really aren't being honest. It's just too hard. Because when I first took the test, I scored a 39. This was almost 3 years ago. And today, when I did the test a week ago, I re-upped my test. I scored an 82. And I think I got a lot of this stuff figured out. Go to getmybsi.com and take the test. Now, here's why it's so important. Because if you score low on your BSI test, you just got real life data to tell you where you are. I don't know where this data exists. And so between the You Need More Money test, the litmus test, the 1, 3, 5, 10 test that's in the book, you can figure out your money sitch. You can figure out where you are. And then if you take the getmybsi.com test, you can figure out where you are as a business owner, a leader. And by the way, you don't have to be a leader within your company to win from the test. You can be a leader in your family. How are you on your core values? Where are you on your debt situation, right? How do you make values-based decisions? It all is answered for you in the BSI test. So let's be frank about it. We are going to collect your email when you take that test, and we are going to then market to you about the Business Finishing School event in September. So I don't want you to think that it's a totally free test, and though it is a totally free test, but yes, you're going to be enrolled in the email drip campaign. But I hope you don't hate me for that, because the only thing you're going to get in that email drip campaign is more great stuff, more reasons, more motivation, more videos, more thought process, more think. So go to getmybsi.com. 2 takeaways on today's quick podcast. Number 1, 3 really. Number 1, in order to win and grow and get better, you have to know where you are. It's step number 1. And the only way you can do it is to test out, is to put yourself in the testing zone and test yourself. I've given you 2 tests. The first is in my book, You Need More Money. It's the litmus test, the 1, 3, 5, 10 test. You should take that test. The second, go to Get My BSI, and that will test your leadership, your core values, your mission statement, your debt service, and you'll score out and see where you are. And then hopefully you'll want to come to the event in September to get better at it. Remember, I scored a 39 when I first took it. I enrolled myself into the Business Finishing School curriculum, and last week I tested out at an 82, and I think I got this stuff pretty well figured out. I literally have only seen one person in the history of that test score a 90, and I don't know the gentleman well enough to know whether he really can score a 90. But I'm pretty good at it, and I got an 82. I've never seen anybody deep in the 90s. I've never seen 100. I've never even seen anybody really in the high 80s. So think about it, man. How are you going to get better? You get better when you know where you are. And how do you know where you are? You got to test. So go to get my book, take the litmus test, the 1, 3, 5, 10 test, or go to getmybsi.com and take the leadership, core values, mission statement, catalyzing statement, where the hell am I in my life test. I appreciate all you guys. I will see you down the road.